Taters, welcome to Uzi Talking To, and today's guest is James McMartin. How are you, James?
Alright,
Hey,
Jeff.
how you doing, mate?
Alright,
Nice to see you. Thank you very much for coming on to the show. Who is he? Trying to big him up. James has been on the biggest soaps, Emmerdale, Coronation Street. Hasn't been on EastEnders yet. He's made a film, or he wrote a film, and then he directed it, semi-directed a film called Dead Man's
Cards.
Dead Man's Cards, and Dead Man's Shoes. I think that's
It was directed by Jim McMartin, the son of Richard McMartin, directed Return of the Jedi.
That's how big it is. Not the one that comes to Birkenhead, the Jedi.
Well, nobody lives over this way, so it was it's interesting. I was knocking around with the script, and he read it, and it just happened to be related to. He lives over here on the Wirral. He just happened to be related to Richard Martin, one of the biggest directors, and him with George Lucas. That's how they got the money.
It's amazing. That's where, from the humble beginnings. So we're going to go back, and we'll go back onto the award-winning Dead Man's Cards, and we're going to start off. Obviously, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Wavertree, around Smithdown Road. Yeah.
So that area then, it was thriving. Back in the 60s, yeah?
Well, I was born 61,
61.
So 70s I grew up. Days of the rally chopper, all that. Mo bags, platforms.
Mo bags, yeah. Platform. Did you have a chopper?
Yeah, no. This is what my life's never been right, because I only had like an hour bike, you know, with a fixed wheel.
I had a budgie, remember the budgie?
I used to go mad, I wanted the chopper. I still want to buy one now, it looked funny, I want the one.
Ever get a backie from a chopper?
Yeah, well, I used to let me mates all the time going over ramps on it. Yeah.
So about choppers, yeah. Let's get down to, so what school did you go to?
I went to St Clair's first, then we went to Shawfields, which was a big, it's about 4 schools all merged into one. And we were in the grammar stream, and we got put in there. There was Welly Road and Dingle Vale. All skinheads, there was murder in there, you know. And there was imagine 4 different schools becoming a comprehensive. It was the era of comprehensive.
So it was just mixed all the schools and areas, tribalism.
Yeah, it was just
finest.
Murders, one gang from over there, from Mill Street, a gang from Dingle, gang. And I was from Wavertree, so I wasn't from around there, so I used to get legged home every night from school, get bullied.
So getting yourself fit, and you're legging yourself home, that's when you obviously took up to boxing, because you were up there with the contenders, weren't you, in the boxing, boxing world. Yeah. So, with the boxing sort of, with what club did you join when you was?
Well, I was predestined to be a boxer, because boxing's in our family. My grandfather was a stoker and a boxer. My uncle Tony Vero, famous fight promoter, and he actually trained and promoted Dick Tiger from Lagos, who won the world middleweight. Yeah.
So posters in it.
Fought them all. Ruben Carter, Joey Giardello, Rocky Graciano, fought them all. Wow. So I grew up with that stories of Dick Tiger, and you know, and I got sent to the boxing gym. I was getting bullied at school, so my mum sent me to Billy Mack. So I got trained by the pros right from the off.
That's amazing. That so you know that's where, because you looked at your sort of your figure, your stature, a big lad, and because obviously later on in life you became a doorman as well, which we'll talk about. But in school, because of all your writing abilities, was you like top of the class in school?
No, I was. What was this? I was dyslexic actually. They found out now I was dyslexic, but they can't work out, because I got brought up in a generation that. Where they were teaching ITA in the 70s, it was this big new thing.
ITA?
ITA.
A method, is that the method?
A method of teaching young kids to read and write a lot quicker and more efficient, but it turned out to be a load of nonsense, because my aunt father taught me to read and write. So I could read and write already when I went to school, and they were marking all my things wrong, because they wanted us to write in this system, which was called ITA. It totally fucked us all up, that generation. So sometimes I'll write a word like, because ITH, you write a word like you spell it, like you hear it.
You hear it,
So I'll spell a word that's the same word three different ways in one sentence, you know. and it's
a lot to take in, that, isn't it?
Yeah, because then they trying to bend you back onto the main. The ITA only lasts for a bit, and then they put you back onto the mainstream. So
you're telling me that's the trigger then when you started, like, say, school, you dreaded going to school in that way, or writing and stuff?
Sort of, I knew it wasn't thick, but you know, you try to say something and then it comes out all wrong, and then you get laughed at in the class. And so I sort of fell behind, and then I started sagging. So I never really learned to read till I left school, until they'd identified what the problem was.
So all along you thought that you must have, like, self-into yourself, that wasn't that?
Yeah. You know, when you get skitted because if you're reading, sight reading, and you get it wrong, and people are laughing at you in the class, and you don't realise that's your formative years, so you don't realise at that age, like, the effect it has on you.
It's a damaging effect, yeah.
So we just fuck school.
Yeah.
So I left school, I couldn't read all right. So
it's that's a crazy line, and you know, you missed out on opportunities, which you could have done, but you know what? It's all growing, and maybe this is the way life has made you where you are today, you know, because through them struggles, as I said, you know, you made you wrote a successful story which got them filmed.
The thing about creative writing and about being an actor is, you know, when you're learning something slowly and you can learn it, look at it without your mind jumping, you know, you can digest it. I mean, I could play anything, I could play a surgeon or anything, you know, it's acting, isn't it? And also creative writing, you're writing in the way people talk, aren't you? You don't write sort of, you know, sentences, do you? So you know, it suits me that, you know.
So you get the vision, you can see things, like, many times it's, you know, we talk about when we bring a picture up today, you know, you just see visions of, like, sort of scenes, and then you can correspond to the writing. That's it's a gift, that, isn't it? You know, it's
what you do if you once you start writing, and you're writing film scripts and stuff, and I've written a few plays as well, and quite a few plays. You know, you see a story in everything. You know, I like you and Becky. You know, like that. You know, that's a great story. You know,
it's an amazing story. But I mean, I met Martin when I was working as an entertainer in Smoky Mo's, and you know, he was on the doors at the time. That's another job that you took because of your stature. Did you, going back to, like, when you grew up and your boxing, what was your first fight? Do you remember?
My first fight was against a lad from over there, from the West Wirral, and he was a bit of a bruiser. I was dead, really painfully skinny, and all I had was a jab, and he just all my mates were sitting in the audience.
What was his name, do you remember?
Yeah, Chris Riedel, his name was. Chris Riedel.
Chris Riedel.
Yeah, I never forget it, because you look like a bull, you know, like, he was 17, I was a junior, but I wasn't well developed, but you know when you get them fellas who had, like, lots of testosterone, they look like Charles Bronson. And the lad before he was fighting, I thought I was fighting him, he was a bit skinny, I thought I fancied him, and he goes in the ring, and then the bruiser in the corner, and I'm getting him in, I thought, and he just ran me over, just ran into me like a train, and I fell face down on the canvas. Yeah, but got up, sheer terror, you know, getting in the ring, my mouth was dry. I remember asking my trainer, he had to take me fully protected down to have a piss going in the final piss. Pissing myself all night. I was wondering what fucking bus I could get home from Runcorn and shit. So anyway, and there I was, face down, first 30 seconds of my first fight, and but I had a really rapid jab, a really fast jab. So I never even threw one right hand, just jab all the way through the first round. And he just kept on running at me, his face was purple, I jabbed his head off, didn't throw one right hand, and just kept coming for 3 rounds. His face was like that, and that was just sheer terror from me, and I won.
Was this over here?
It was in Runcorn.
Sorry, in Runcorn.
He was in the West Wirral, and I was boxing for a club called Highfield in Old Swan. Base Owens was my trainer there, Jimmy Owens and that.
What, Jimmy Owens is that, yeah?
Yeah, Jimmy was a good pro.
Yeah, that's right.
But Jimmy's a little kid then.
Small world, I was in the hour with Jimmy Owens.
Yeah.
Football and boxing, yeah. It's amazing. So with the boxing taking off, this is what, so you was, how old was you when you were 14 when you had the first fight?
No, I started as actually I got bullied badly, and got in a fight and we ran away, and I felt like a shit house running away, and my mum sent me to boxing gym. It was, you know,
Oh, so it was young age, yeah.
No, 17.
17.
I was 17.
17.
We got yeah, and I went to Billy Max, who was Tony Valero's trainer, who trained Tiger, so I never went to an amateur gym. I went and trained with the pros immediately. I used to spar with Gary Lucas, and Gary fought Najee Darko. He was a pro, and Greg Evans fought Tom Jones. Greg Evans from over there from Birkenhead.
I say the singer Tom Jones,
yeah,
no, yeah.
No, you know, Tommy Jones,
Tom
the
Jones.
man from over there, yeah, and and he was the ABA champion. He was fighting for the British title like every week, right? So I was training with the pros, sparring with the pros, and then I just turned up on the amateurs. I went right in at the deep end, went right in the ABAs, and I'd only had 1 or 2 fights, so it was a bit of a phenomenon because.
That's a deep end, isn't
But
it?
I fought Jimmy Price at the stadium.
It's just the Liverpool Stadium.
The Liverpool Stadium, yeah.
It's where was it near the Grafton Liverpool Stadium? Where
It was sort of like round the back of Dale Street.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Round there, round by the court.
Oh, I see.
It was great. It was a massive, like an Art Deco building. It was like a Coliseum when you went in there, the stadium. That was an awesome time, the 70s, watching the fights there. And my hero was Robbie Davis.
He's from over Birkenhead.
Yeah, the Birkenhead bomber, Robbie Davis, wow. And he used to like have a purple short, velvet short, purple, with a bit like a hitman, come running down, start punching himself in the face, he bruised
Raging both like short at
and knockout mates, with the big bolo punch.
Yeah.
So he was
So he had a lot of skill there, Robbie.
Yeah, he had a lot of skill as well. I mean, Joe Lally had it off in there, some great fights. I seen him knock about 5 or 6 fellas out in a row for the British title, and then he got beat by some skinny fella from Cardiff. Sort of just ran away and jabbed him, spoiled him. You know, 1 fight away from the title as well as this year.
You know, with Donny, he passed away recently, Robbie, and Mr. Lally as well. They had the boxing there. So they were icons, and that's the way you sort of was going with your boxing, and your name was, you're building up as you dived in. I mean, looking through your credentials, there was a fight that was famously known as with Mr. Frosty, Joe Frost.
Well, Joey was a bit like Robbie in a way. He was a fucking knockout mate. It was like fighting the Kagan, fighting Joey.
The Kagan.
Well, I thought, when the ABA twice I had a war with Jimmy Price, me and Jimmy punched each other out, the crowd pleasing fight. And we just punched each other to death. And then the next year, I thought everyone tipped me to go through.
Yeah.
But Joey come back from the Olympics, and he's won the ABAs, the fastest knockouts ever of all time. The ABAs in the Guinness Book of Records. You know, Dallin man out in about, I don't know, about 7 seconds, first punch left hook. He was a left hook mate in Joey. And then I thought, I'm going all the way this year. And then Joey moved up to my weight, and I thought, oh, here we go. So I seen him fight, and I seen a lot of people run away from him in the ring. But I didn't. My style was, you know...
Your style, stand your foot, go forward, got stuck in.
So I waded into Joey, like, and I think he was a bit surprised because I was sort of a novice, like, and the crowd was surprised, the crowd was going mad. And I was beating him and I had him on the ropes, so I waded into him, but it just turned into a street fight. You know, the referee shouting, break. And
so down to your level.
Joey's nutted me.
Yeah.
And then I'm staggering back, but I kept on punching Joey during the break. The next thing, bingo! Wow, I felt like I'd been hit with the lump on me.
Right on the button, or
And I got up at 9, they counted me out. But I wanted to fight on, but to be honest, probably lucky that they did count me out because...
was your family there then, your father?
My mum was going mad. My mum was down in the dressing room saying, where's that Joey Frost with a bottle of brandy? And it's trying to get into the dressing room. I was sort of KO, I was sort of concussed like that. I'm saying to me mate, that was a brilliant right hand. He was going, it was a left hook. And I could see my mum, that bastard trying to get in. He knocked my son out, you're going to hell. And all. Poor Joey.
Oh, you know what to think, Joey, it's only a boxing.
We were good mates now, we had pints on County Road.
Brilliant. Yeah. That's what boxing does, you know.
But Joey's from Scotland Road, you see, and he was a street fighter as well.
Yeah.
And when you had him, that's when he was dangerous, you know, which, you know, I found out.
Yeah, when he started mixing the best, yeah. That's great, though. I mean, that's raw. You imagine the split, because there's a lot of people saying about the Liverpool Stadium, you know, the atmosphere.
Oh, that stadium,
The
you
smell,
know, when
the
you come
fear,
out, when you come up from underneath,
Yeah,
it was the closest to being like in a Roman Colosseum, because then you ran down, you know, you come down and it was awesome. There was thousands in there. It was massive.
Georgie Schofield.
Fighting this Brian Snag, what a fight that was. Some of the great iconic fights there.
Historic times.
Yeah.
So with the boxing, then you got it led into the sort of the doorway. You get like the respect of people.
Yeah. Well, what happened with me? I just after that Frosty fight, I ended up at the Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
So I was getting me England vest. Everything was looking hunky dory. Sparring Greg Evans, and I hit him in the elbow. Yeah. Broke my knuckle, and that was it. Me ended my boxing career at 23, 24, and I was gutted that. It sort of had like bits of bad luck, you know. I should have went through the year Jimmy went through. He won the title and a Commonwealth gold. Then it should have went through with Joey, but you know, got what a kid. And then I'm at Crystal Palace and I bust my hand, so that was it. You know, really unlucky, and I ended up on the door like a lot of ex-boxers.
Just quickly on that, that's the story about Dead Man's Cards, the film. That's like what you see. Is that where you got all your inspiration to write something like that? Yeah, well,
I'm what I'd say the way I write. I'm more of a autobiographical stories I write.
Autobiographical.
Autobiographical.
Yeah.
So you know, I write from experience. I don't make characters up. But what I do find is life is stranger than fiction, and some people go, that couldn't have happened like that, you know. Or does this? Where did you cook this guy up? And you know, going, that's me mate. You know, that's all he's actually done. Yeah.
Brilliant. So okay, let's stand by for part 2 with the continuation of Marty Hughes.